So this question says, what is the product of -3 and 1/3 c plus 2.5? The key term here that's really important is this word product, because the word product is a key word that's telling us that what we need to do is we need to multiply. And what exactly is it that we're going to have to multiply? Well, they're giving us two things. They're saying that we have to multiply -3 here and this entire expression here, which is 1/3 c plus 2.5. Now, the look of this question may be different than what we're used to seeing, but the idea is basically the same. We have this single term by itself, and we're multiplying an expression with it that has more than one term inside. So let's just rewrite this so that it looks a little bit more familiar. Let's change the way it looks, and what we'll do is we'll write -3 first, -3 times, and to represent this time, this multiplication, we can just put this number right next to the parentheses. So that's going to be -3 parentheses 1/3 c, or 1/3 c, plus 2.5. Now, don't get distracted or don't get discouraged just because this question might look a little bit different. Yeah, it has a whole number here, an integer. Yeah, it has a fraction here, and yeah, it has a decimal here. But the idea is always the same. We have this touch term outside. We're going to take this touch term and distribute it to each term inside. But before we do any of that, the first thing we should do is take this entire expression and box it and use that boxing process to break it up into its terms. So let's do that. So I'll put a box around everything. And then with this box, I'm going to drop the lines that separate the terms. So I've got -3. That's my first term. And then I have my open parentheses here. My next term is 1/3 c. This plus sign indicates the end of the next term and the beginning of the term after that. And this is my third term here, positive 2.5. I can also add these little lines here just to show that the inside of these lines indicate parentheses. So we're going to have to distribute inside those little dashes. So let's do this. We've got -3 times, well, I don't want to do that, times 1/3 c, positive 1/3 c. And when we multiply -3 times positive 1/3 c, we just get -1c, or just c. And next we'll do -3 times our next term inside parentheses, which is positive 2.5. We'll have -3 times positive 2.5. And when we do that, we get -7.5. And there's nothing else to distribute. I multiplied -3 times 1/3 c and got -1c. That means I'm done with this term. And then I also multiplied -3 times positive 2.5. That means we're done with this term because we ended up getting -7.5. And since we distributed to everything inside, we're also done with the touch term, -3. So our next part of this expression, or our next expression from the distribution, is -1c minus 7.5. And there's nothing else to do because we can't combine these two terms in the expression because one is a variable term and one is a constant. Therefore, our final answer is don't want to do that, -1c, put a box, -1c minus 7.5.